Hands up! Hands down! Hands down! Hands up!
Yo.
Show me all your hands! Hands up! Heads down!
Sam, don't get scared, chill.
Heads down! Heads down!
Alright, what you guys just saw, well, the second video clip was actually from a flight going from Toronto to Panama where there was a bomb threat. The first video clip I showed you guys was on Tuesday, that's the video clip we're talking about, and police was seen swarming around this airplane because they believe that the airplane was being hijacked. I mean, is this real life right now? What the heck is going on? If I was in that situation, I would be freaking out. This took place on a JetBlue plane at JFK Airport. The JetBlue pilot actually accidentally told air traffic control that his plane was being hijacked. I mean, how do you mess something like that up? That's a pretty big mistake. The pilot was trying to tell the air traffic control that he was having issues with his radio, and he accidentally used the code signal for a hijacking is happening right now by mistake. So this led police to board the plane. People took out their cameras and they captured this. This plane was flight 1623 from New York JFK to LA, Los Angeles. When the heavily armed police officers boarded the plane, they started yelling at people for everyone to put their hands up in the air just in case, you know, they have weapons on them, or maybe they're holding onto a button that's gonna blow up a bomb. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI were on the scene and they cleared the situation with no security threats. Everyone had to be deboarded on the plane and hundreds of people were left stranded at the airport. For the pilot, I wonder what happened to them. If they're gonna be punished, if they're gonna be fired, because this mistake probably cost millions of dollars because JetBlue probably has to refund everybody, pay for everyone's hotels for the night, try to set up their next flights, and also for the FBI and Homeland Security to be involved with the case, I'm sure it wasn't cheap. Okay, so we have this pretty messed up story from the UK. A news report came out stating that children are being denied mental health care until they become suicidal, then they will receive the care. Even if the kids are psychopaths, or if they've been sexually abused, or even abused while they're young, well, apparently that's not serious enough for the NHS to help out. An expert says the system is overstretched and disjointed. I think this is one of the most messed up things I've read in a long time, and I'm hoping that some of it or all of it is not true. Okay, moving on, I just watched the movie Tag. It was very funny. It was a ridiculous movie. And at the end of the movie, it actually revealed that this movie that I watched, that it was actually a true story. And I couldn't believe it. This movie is literally about grown men playing tag with each other. So they've been playing tag with each other for decades, and it always takes place for a whole month. Take a look at this image. This is the real group of men who has been playing the game of tag, where they've actually traveled miles and miles and even gone on planes to tag each other. And this started back in 1990, but this kept the group pretty close together. 2013, Wall Street Journal actually wrote an article about this, which is so insane. But this is just such a close group of friends because they've been playing tag for a very long time. These guys just never grew up. So they actually inspired this Hollywood movie. Let me show you guys a video clip of the real people who inspired this movie.
February 1st rolls around. If you're not it, the anxiety sets in.
It's not dread, it's not fear. Those come later in the month.
There's paranoia, checking over your shoulder.
I'm looking under cars, checking to see if bodies are under there.
It feels like you're a spy in a Cold War.
Also inspired from this movie was a woman who flew 4,000 miles to tag her friend. This probably inspired many people to start the game of tag. Deadpool 2 has just hit over $700 million worldwide. The movie now becomes the 4th highest rated title ever at the global box office. Huge congrats to Deadpool. Can't wait for the 3rd movie. Is it even coming? Well, here's a huge story. A Supreme Court of Justice just ruled 5-4 to make President Donald Trump's travel ban to majority Muslim countries legal. There was a huge debate and protest when President Donald Trump first brought up this idea of banning some countries from entering America. Well, now it just became the law, and there doesn't seem like anyone can do anything about it. So basically, if you're from Iran, Syria, Yemen, Somalia, Libya, and that's just to name a few of these countries, you don't have a chance of visiting America right now. I thought America was the land of the free. I guess it's the land of the free if you're not Muslim, Mexican, or a Canadian who won't give their cell phones to a border security officer who's been tripping. So if you're none of the above, you can enter America. The president took it to Twitter to say this: Supreme Court upholds Trump travel ban. Wow. Right now, the replies to this tweet are people asking about Saudi Arabia. This person tweeted this: how come Saudi Arabia isn't included on your ban? I think it's because he has a lot of business in Saudi Arabia. So when you're president, are you allowed to bring personal issues or conflicts into it? I don't know. And then you have this How come Saudi Arabia was not part of the ban? How soon we forget or intentionally 9/11 there were 19 hijackers, 15 citizens of Saudi Arabia. I wonder why. Also, right now there have been problems with hundreds of illegal migrant children. Children are now allowed to be reunited with their family members after they've been detained at the American border. But there's been a problem because, well, these officials can't find, the parents of the kids and the kids' parents. It's a whole mess. So now you've detained these kids. I personally think it was illegal to do it. You shouldn't have had the right to do it. They pretty much put them in these like jail cells, and now you can't place them back home because you don't know where home is. Also, Trump has more problems on his hands. A Guatemalan woman wants to sue the president because of how her daughter has been treated. She claims officials would abuse these children, including her daughter. In this lawsuit, it states that while being separated, she was kept in a small room, she was fed cold food, and slept in very cold conditions. This sounds like a prison system for children. As of right now, the White House has not responded to this lawsuit. From seeing all of these images online of all these kids being held, it doesn't look good for the White House. It really does look like these kids' rights have been abused, and they were violated in many different ways. But the question is, can you even sue the president? Okay, World Cup news for you guys. There was a huge upset. South Korea beat out Germany. I mean, what the heck? This was totally unexpected because Germany is actually the last World Cup's champion. But now the first round, they couldn't even score. It was 2-0. Sweden beat out Mexico 3-0. Argentina won 2-1 against Nigeria. The round of 16 is almost complete. So far, I think Portugal has the best chance of winning, just looking at their brackets and their matchups. But I'm curious to see how Spain or Sweden does as well.
What do you think of this year's World Cup?
It's coming home. It's coming home. Yeah, that's like people in England always say it's coming home because like we have like a football song that goes it's coming home. It's because England's like the home of football, right? Where it's invented.
They're to the round of 16. I didn't see them in the bracket of 16.
I am very excited about this year's World Cup. It hasn't been so good as an English person in my living memory. And also, there are just so many plot twists, like Germany going out today, losing to South Korea. Like, you could not write that. It was amazing.
All right, we got Liam. Things are a little hectic out here. He's probably stressed out because we're trying to get this live stream, like it's happening right now. There's lots of people on the live stream. But yeah, he's wearing a Germany
jersey.
So, do you want to change?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
South Korea?
South Korea's out too.
Yeah, they're out, but they won, but they're out.
I think I'm going for Portugal now.
Do you think they're gonna win?
Well, it depends. England, Belgium tomorrow. Is this going up tomorrow?
It's going up tomorrow.
So by the time you guys watch it, you'll already know. But yeah, they're going through, and Germany's already out.
Oh
so
man.
We'll say a good World Cup.
Who's gonna win the whole thing?
The last time England did better than Germany was in 1966 when we went on to win the World Cup's coming home.
Yeah, it happens every year, but Leafs don't make the playoffs every year. Portugal. Do you have a Portugal under there?
I'm gonna
Portugal? What's the Homer Simpson one? He goes in the bush, comes out, like.
It's been pretty exciting. This World Cup, I feel like, has gotten me a little back into football, but I don't know, maybe I'm not. Maybe it's just the World Cup thing.
Okay, so keeping this video shorter for today, because right now we're actually setting up to go live in an hour, so but by the time you watch this video, we already went live, and we're gonna do a schedule very soon so you guys know when live shows happen. Okay, so we actually have an update for you guys. Michael Jackson's dad, Joe Jackson, has just passed away, and he was 89 years old. Rest in peace. It's obviously an iconic figure, a legend. I mean, we're talking about Michael Jackson's father. The Jackson 5, the man who made the Jackson 5 passed away. So our condolences here from LandonProduction goes out to the family and all the loved ones, because losing Michael Jackson was a hard one. Now we're losing the father of Michael Jackson, so it's a pretty tough time. And unfortunately, that's how we're gonna end today's video. I just want to share that with you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys actually next week. It's the long weekend here in Canada, so we're taking off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we'll probably be back here for Tuesday or Wednesday.